With me today is Jane Langof, and Jane is an internationally accredited, multi-award winning Feng Shui master and designer, and she's based in Sydney, Australia. With a passion for creating beautiful, balanced spaces, Jane collaborates with property owners and design teams to integrate Feng Shui into homes, commercial venues, and community spaces around the world. And Jane is the author of an award-winning book, Feng Shui, A Homeowner's Guide to Abundance, which I have here. So welcome, Jane.
Thank you so much, Julie. It's so great to be here.
So good to be talking to you and the new year. And this is such a perfect topic to be chatting about as we're thinking about how we can launch into 2025 in our absolute best A game.
It is, because getting the energy right in your surroundings can support you for your health, your well-being goals, prosperity, all of those fabulous things that we want to bring more of in our new year.
Absolutely. And that's all we're going to talk about today. But I want to start because you've had a really interesting journey from a corporate background, so we have that in common, to becoming an internationally recognized Feng Shui master. Yes. So what inspired you to take that shift?
Well, it was quite an interesting journey. The short answer is a psychic recommended that I move into this space.
Oh.
Yeah,
awesome.
It's quite out there. So when I had my first child, I was on a maternity break from my corporate career. I was working as a financial controller in a multinational. It was a very, very busy job, very full on. And during that time, we were also renovating a house. And I actually had an affinity with design, and I really loved the renovation process. And design and studying design had been something that I thought about while I was in my corporate career, but there was absolutely no chance with the long hours and all that sort of thing. You know what the grind is like. Mm. And then when I had my first child, one of my friends suggested I see this particular psychic spirit medium. And as soon as I saw her, she said to me, "Your corporate career is over. You need to go and study interior design, and then you need to study Feng Shui." Oh. And let me tell you, once I opened those Feng Shui books, I knew I was hooked, and I knew that was my path and my destiny and what I was meant to do. And she told me that I actually have a spirit guide who's an ancient Chinese master, and I can tap into his energy through my work. So I just thought that was fascinating, and I really feel like I was made for the job.
Absolutely. That's just given me goosebumps, actually. It's just phenomenal.
Well, I never felt like I was meant to be an accountant, although having had that background has really helped me in terms of building business and even working with clients who have businesses as well, because I can bring that sort of corporate angle to my work and help them in their career goals.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, so for those of us who aren't really familiar with it, what is Feng Shui and how does it help people?
Well, Feng Shui is the ancient Chinese art of arranging your living and workspaces to create the optimal flow of energy. Energy is everywhere. It's in our homes, it's in our bodies, and it's in the natural world. And aligning your space and aligning yourself with positive energy can really help in terms of health, well-being, relationships, and your financial goals.
Amazing.
So ancient Chinese masters discovered that different patterns of energy affected the human body and mind. When people were aligned with positive energy, they experienced periods of great fortune, whereas if they were aligned with negative energy, they experienced misfortune and obstacles. And from those observations over thousands of years came a defined set of guidelines, rules, mathematical systems, and calculations that formed the basis of what traditional Feng Shui is today. So real Feng Shui, authentic Feng Shui, is actually not based on superstition or religion. It's a system, it's a complex process. So you might see on Instagram or TikTok that people are telling you to put golden lucky toads here or there and little, tacky lucky objects. That's not true Feng Shui. That's just, light or TikTok Feng Shui. And it's not the thing that's going to actually bring you that alignment. So in Feng Shui, we try to align with the energy flow.
Amazing. I love that word alignment. I think it's really, really powerful in everything that we do. So, can I just ask you as well, how do you, like, that must be a fairly big process for you to become a feng shui master.
Yeah, it's one of those things that takes years and years of study. So, from my previous role being an accountant, that was just, uni degree, CPA qualification. You've got the standard principles there in place, but feng shui is an esoteric subject and art, and it's about studying with different feng shui masters because there's no, I guess, feng shui university that you can really go to, and there's so many different angles and schools that you can look at and study, and it's about bringing what works for you and your practice and your clients to that, and creating the practice that works for you as a feng shui consultant. I guess in a way I heard the analogy that it's like cooking, where you've got particular principles that are fundamental to creating a great dish, but there are so many different ways to approach it. And I've also studied with accredited feng shui masters, and worked with the International Feng Shui Association to gain my accreditation.
So good, Jane. So I'm assuming that how you would design, like implement the concept into an office or a home or whatever that looks like, it would be very different for everyone.
Yes, so every home and every building has a unique map of energy that's like a horoscope that determines how well or how supportive the building's energy is for the occupants that are living in the home. So we look at things like the date that the property was built, the floor plan, the precise orientation of the building, and also we plug in the energy of the occupants in terms of their birth dates. So everyone has a bunch of favorable directions, the best directions that they should face to align with the energy of their personal sectors, and we use that in a feng shui consultation to make sure that everybody's in alignment.
Amazing. I love this so much. I really believe in this. So I'm really fascinated by it. So, given that you're introducing this into a Western society and it's a very ancient practice and it might challenge a lot of people's, I suppose, beliefs. Did you face into challenges when you first started this?
Absolutely. Especially when I went through the big career change, I even had people in my family say, why don't you go and be an accountant again? Why don't you go and do some tax returns? And I never did tax returns anyway, really, in my accounting job. But it's just funny that those stereotypes, people didn't really understand what it's about, and they just thought it's about the placement of those lucky objects and things. But really, it's quite a technical process. And the thing that I tell people who are skeptical about feng shui is that it's about energy flow, firstly. I mean, energy affects you. At the fundamental level, if your office is a big disaster and a giant mess, you're never going to work as effectively as you are when your space is clear. And so,
Yeah.
and also feng shui is important to so many people in the community. And to ignore that, especially when you're building, when you're looking to appeal to Asian clients, when you're renovating and spending a lot of money, it's so worthwhile to consider those principles.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just thinking of some offices that I used to work in, actually design. And it was so messy. Like there was papers, drawings, there was stuff everywhere. So, and I always felt like it was just chaotic.
Well, clutter is actually number one public enemy of feng shui. So if there's my first tip for you guys, it's just to, reduce the clutter, get rid of it. Even e-clutter on your computer is a thing. So we want to create that clarity and that positive energy flow, because if you have the less stuff you have, the more space there is to introduce new opportunities.
Yes. Yep. I love it. So And we'll get to tips in a minute because I think that's going to be like people are in the right mindset. You know, it's the start of a new year. They're wanting to start the year feeling calm and connected and aligned with their values and, you know, and now that we're talking about energy, also with their energy. But I just want to ask you, as someone that combines design and energy work, how do you stay connected to both the creative side and the spiritual side of your practice? Because it's, you know, it's very different
It's
in
very
terms
left
of,
and right brain.
yeah.
It really is. And one of the big things that I suggest to my clients that I practice myself is meditation. I think meditation is so important. It really lifts your energy. And a lot of people say meditation is really good and you should do it, but they don't actually explain why or what the real benefits are. And in my experience, meditation has actually helped me to manifest my goals more easily. So getting my environment in alignment in on top of certain mindset practices like meditation really helps to lift your vibration and connect with the people that you're supposed to connect with if you're looking to achieve certain things in your life. So the way I meditate is really easy. I either sit in my chair or first thing in the morning when I just get out of bed, put the big pillow behind me with my legs out straight, and just in silence with my eyes closed, focus on breath for 20 minutes. And that's all you need. And if you do that every day, I promise you, things will start going. You'll be on that trajectory to where you want to go. It really, really is powerful. Things like affirmations are great as well. So positive affirmations, positive statements about yourself, things that you can believe and things that are associated with action. So not just, I am, don't say things that you truly don't believe about yourself, but say things that are aligned with the actions that you're taking to achieve your goals. And also gratitude, that's another big thing. So I think about and write down, journal 3 things that I'm grateful for in the day. And if I do the affirmation practice and the gratitude even before I do the meditation, I find that to be super powerful.
Oh, okay. So the meditation's even more powerful for you.
Yeah, but just doing meditation full stop is great. I even do a bit of meditation between Pomodoro sprints when I'm doing my 25 minutes of productivity work.
Yeah, I
I
love
find
that.
just closing your eyes and doing that for say 5 minutes really helps to center you and balance you.
Yeah, absolutely. It's
Yeah.
like that little micro break where you give yourself a break and you're breathing, you're relaxing that parasympathetic nervous system.
Yes.
So it's a really great practice. And I really got onto meditation after I got diagnosed with cancer because I used to do exercise every morning and I couldn't do that. So I'm like, what else can I do? And everyone told me about meditation. I was quite resistant to it because I thought, oh, it's just so woo-woo. I just don't understand it and it's hard. But it's something that I implemented and have stuck to. Maybe not every single day, but it's something I'm very conscious of, even when I'm walking now,
Yeah.
to really focus on my breath.
But even a lot of people think that meditation is about the absence of thoughts, but it's actually not. It's just about focusing on something small like your breath and allow the thoughts to pass
Yeah,
by, and
yeah,
and then you'll really feel that mindfulness and get into that state of bliss eventually.
yeah. I love that. Thanks, Jane. All right, so love to tap into your genius and really get you to share some tips with our listeners on how
Yes.
they could feng shui their space, whether that be their office or their home or both.
Yeah, sure. Okay. So the most important thing from a wealth perspective is your front entrance and your main entrance. So ensure that that's free of obstacles, free of clutter, that it's all clean, that you don't have cobwebs or bird poo on your front door, making sure that everything's all lovely and welcoming. We want to have the clear signage as well, so the number signs are easy to read so that the energy and opportunities can find you. Inside your front entrance, it's great if you can have a beautiful focal point that helps to draw the energy in. And by focal point, I mean something like lovely artwork or a beautiful console table with some decor on it. What you've got behind you, Julie, in your Zoom background there is beautiful, the flowers and the artwork. That's the sort of thing that would be great to have at a front entrance. We don't want to have a mirror at the directly reflecting the front door, because that reflects energy and opportunities back out again. So
Interesting. A lot of people are very big. Well, mirrors are huge at the moment.
yeah, mirrors are great to have on the side of the entrance, or reflecting a beautiful view like a garden or something like that, or beautiful
Yeah.
artwork, but just not directly reflecting the door. If you have something directly, a mirror reflecting the door, and you can't move it for whatever reason, just put something in front of it that obscures your own view of yourself when you walk in, because we want to bring the energy in, not freak ourselves out because our hair's not perfect, or we're looking a bit, we're dressed a bit daggy or that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So the other big thing to think about in Feng Shui in your home is your bedroom, because the bedroom is where you spend most of your time sleeping and absorbing the energy around you. So make sure that that's also free of clutter. We want to know what's on the other side of the bed head. So if you can avoid sleeping on the other side of a meter box, that would be a good thing, because the meter box can actually cause health issues. Yeah, so a lot of people don't realize this, but it disrupts, the water that's in your body and the water content. So we want to make sure that there's no huge electrical equipment behind your bed head, and that even goes for things like some old style clock radios have very high electromagnetic fields, so it's best to move them away, or at least move them as far away from your head as possible where you sleep.
Okay.
Mirrors in bedrooms amplify unresolved issues between couples, so we try not to have mirrors directly reflecting the bed as well. And yes, and that's a big one with people who've got mirrored robes. And if you want to sleep with your bed position, the ideal is to be against a solid wall in an area that's diagonally opposite the door, because the area that's diagonally opposite the door is the area where the energy is most contained. It's like the wealth area of the room. And so this is where you want your bed to be placed, preferably not up against a window. And if we use that principle as well, you can apply that to your office space. So if you are in a room that has a door in the corner, and you are sitting in the area that's diagonally opposite the door with your back against the solid wall and a view out to nature, that is the best in terms of encouraging creativity, clarity, and a commanding support for your ideas and authority.
So interesting. That point about the bed, I did read that on your Instagram actually. And because there's a mirror opposite our bed, and we're really limited as to how we can put the furniture in the room. Because we've got a king bed. So I was like, oh my God, we have to get rid of that mirror.
It's just about, Feng Shui is not something that should create fear and dread in people. I feel that Feng Shui should be used to empower people. So it's just about making the best of what you've got and improving something from where you are now to, where you need to be. So there's probably so many things in your home that you can improve, and you don't need to worry too much about things that can't be changed, like, the position of the door, if the front door faces the back door, or the front door is in direct alignment with the stairs, big Feng Shui no-nos, I guess. It's just about what you can do to mitigate those issues and make the most of what you've got.
Yes, absolutely. And of course, you share lots and lots of tips in your book, which I'll be sharing the link so that people can get hold of that.
Yes.
And make sure that their room is beautiful, is abundant and aligned, and it's gorgeous. It's such a beautiful book, Jane. So well done. And congratulations on all the awards that you've won.
Thank you. It's really means a lot to me because I'm all about getting Feng Shui out there into the mainstream. Feng Shui is something that helps to bring a lot of abundance into people's lives, and I want more people to know about it and its powerful impact. And I just want to make one suggestion is that if you are building or renovating a home, that you really consider Feng Shui principles at that time, because that is when you can create the biggest difference to the energy in your space.
Yeah, that's such a great point. And there's so many people doing renovations, particularly around where I live at the moment. Like, it's just like there's renos going on everywhere. So it's like, I feel like I should be dropping books into their letterboxes.
They need to
So
listen to
they,
your website, listen to your podcast,
they
Julie.
do need to listen to the podcast. Definitely. So, Jane, it's been such a pleasure having you on the podcast, particularly at this time of year. So thank you for sharing your wisdom
Wonderful.
with everyone and all of our listeners.
Wonderful to be here, Julie. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Jane.